Hello traders, welcome to the Nexoel Trading Hub YouTube channel. So we're just going to look at a quick review in dollar index based on the framework we looked at for this particular week in the weekly forecast. We expected to see more bullish possibility in the dollar index, and the first target I was telling us to aim at was the daily bearish fair value gap we have here. And then if we see volume violate that, we're going to see a pullback where this would act as an inversion fair value gap, and we further have bullish continuation to take out this buy side liquidity. That was what I pointed out to us for the coming week, and this is clearly here from the daily time frame. We built that perspective from the weekly time frame. We looked at the lower time frames from the daily 4-hour, and I think we also looked at the 1-hour time frame. I can't vividly recall, but the weekly forecast is actually in the YouTube channel. You can make reference to that for further clarity. So, I told us this was Friday's candle. So I told us if we're going to have bullish movements, that is bullish possibilities in the dollar index, then we'd want to see Monday gives us a strong bullish volume to the upside. And if that happens, then we should expect the possibility of a pullback for a bullish continuation to the target, which is the bearish fair value gap, before we start aiming for the buy side liquidity. And clearly we can see our delivery was fulfilled here in the dollar index, mitigation of this unmitigated week, which is also within the weekly bullish fair value gap. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame to look at the breakdown of price delivery, because I was sharing this breakdown in the free Telegram community for our expectation in the dollar index. First, in the weekly forecast, I pointed the fact was that we have price reacting at this bullish order block, or we can just call that the rejection block, because we have this candle with the longest wick. So this is where we had the sell movement before the bullish impulse that took out this high, and we saw that mitigation. And on Friday, and also in the weekly forecast, we saw this candle, I think was printed on Friday, and also this candle. So I told us to expect to see bearish movement, and if this is gonna go bullish, then price should not violate this sponsorship zone. Then we should see bullish possibility. And how price closes at this bearish fair value gap here in the 4-hour time frame would help us now frame the possibility of continuing further bullish, because we have buy side liquidity resting here. So I'm just giving us a quick weekly review because of some of you following us, watching the weekly forecast. I just felt like just doing this to just give you an additional value for being parts of this YouTube community. So, I pointed that out to us. I said how we would see price react at this bearish fair value gap would help us frame more bullish possibility. And I told us this then would serve as an inversion fair value gap. The weekly forecast is in the YouTube channel. You can do well to check that. So when on Monday we started seeing price action, and in the free Telegram community, I pointed out that the way price would react from this sponsorship block would help me determine how I was gonna look at the Euro USD, because at that moment I was looking at the Euro USD and I was actually looking at a bullish perspective. But then looking at the expectation that the dollar index could give us that bullish continuation, I now said I have to look at to see what happens here. Then that would tell me the story on how to reframe or restructure my expectation in Euro USD. And then that gave us a bullish reaction and then continued bullish. So seeing how price gave us another sponsorship block here within the 4-hour bearish fair value gap, and then a bullish engulfing was created, and then I expected to see price pulls back where this was going to serve as an inversion, because price created a bullish sponsorship block. So I was expecting to see price return to mitigate that, which is now an inversion fair value gap. In confluence, we have a bullish block that was created there. So I want to see price then continues bullish, because it shows us then where is the next drawn liquidity. The equal high is resting here. So you have to understand where liquidity is resting. That would help you frame where the market is taking a journey to. So the market is taking a journey to the relatively equal highs, the pools of buy side liquidity resting here. And then we had a pullback to that inversion in confluence to this bullish block. Price took out this equal lows, seek this liquidity, and then continued bullish. So when I saw again price created this order block, because we had a sell movement before this bullish movement and engulfing candle created, I still expected more bullish possibility. Why? Liquidity is resting here. And this is where we had the impulsive movement that took out this low. and price has traded above this sponsorship zone, which is this bearish fair value gap. It is acting as an inversion. So it means price is attracted to liquidity resting here. So I expected to see again a pullback and then bullish continuation. And then you can clearly see how price gave that pullback, went bullish to the fair value gap, further went bullish. So being attracted to the buy side liquidity resting here. So what we can see, I had this sell candle before this buy movement. I expected to see a pullback before we have the bullish continuation, because price already is being drawn or attracted to this buy side liquidity. So I expected to see that this buy side liquidity should be taken. So I had to look forward to see how we're going to have a pullback here, and then we have bullish continuation. So the framework or the perspective I was building in the dollar index helped determine what I trade in the pairs, like the major pairs. So what we can see is that price traded more lower to retest the bearish fair value gap from the daily time frame as an inversion, and price gave the bullish impulse, seeking the buy side. Because when the pullback came and bullish movement, price did not seek the buy side, created equal highs. Price again dipped more lower before then pushing to seek that illiquidity. So liquidity is resting here, hence why price was attracted to that. So this is just a quick one in dollar index. Cheers guys, and God bless you all.